that have the most lasting impact are the ones that come from our family, our parents, our siblings, our spouse, and our children. Those who are closest to us and to whom we often share the same space. Now, if I took a poll of everyone here, and if you were all being honest, I would wager that the majority of us are presently confronted with whether to forgive someone who has wronged us, and perhaps wronged us so deeply. When we look at the life of Jesus, there are many instances of him forgiving others. When Jesus was in his final days and his final hours, he forgave his disciples who abandoned him when he needed them the most. Jesus forgave Peter, the person to whom he saw as the one who would take over for him after his death. Jesus forgave Peter for denying him not once, not twice, but 3 times. Jesus forgave Judas for the most ultimate betrayal. Jesus forgave those who put him on trial, beat him, and ultimately kill him by stating that they did not know what they were doing. Jesus lived a life filled with forgiving others. So as followers of Christ, there has to be a reason why we are asked to forgive those who have wronged us. I realize that it might seem a bit foolish or not genuine for me to stand here behind this pulpit and tell you, you know what? You need to forgive those who have wronged you. Because I know not your particular situations or circumstances, and you don't know mine. Inside you might be thinking, if you knew what had been done to me, you would know why I cannot forgive this person. And truth be told, no one knows the hurt that you experience because of the actions, words, moments of silence, and sins of others. No one on this side of heaven truly knows what it's like to live your life but yourself. So I'm not trying to trivialize what anyone's experiencing or has experienced in life. I truly am not. With that said, like all of you, I know what it's like to be confronted with the decision of whether to forgive someone or to not forgive. Ultimately, the decision to forgive or not is up to you. No one holds those cards. But what I do know is that if any one of us in this room refuses to say, I forgive you, to another person, then I think you're bound to live a life filled with bitterness and resentment. And life could easily get to the point where little things eat away at us, such as someone not wishing us a happy birthday, someone forgetting our name, another person being late to a work meeting, an innocent joke taken way too personally, and keeps on going and going. And it builds into this vicious cycle where nobody is ever good enough, including yourself. When Joseph made the conscious decision to forgive his brothers, not once, but twice, not only did it free him from living a life directed by resentment and bitterness, but his decision broke the cycle of destruction and dysfunctional relationships in his family line that began with Adam and Eve. It's very fitting that Joseph's story is at the end of the book of Genesis because it naturally creates a great launching point for God's people to change in positive ways in the future. And that's exactly what forgiveness does to us. It frees us up so that our future will not be dictated by our past. It's important that we actively forgive others who have wronged us because there will be a time when we will need to be forgiven ourselves for what we have said, for what we have done, and for the times we have remained silent. and the times when we have been wrong, the other person never intended to hurt us. Now that doesn't excuse what they have done, but knowing that helps us to understand that other person just a bit better. So I ask you, who in your life do you need to choose to forgive? The act of forgiveness might not be easy, but it is what is needed for you to truly move on with your life. The person is still living. Here's your chance. The person who needs forgiveness passed away. I urge you to talk to them as if they are still here, or write a letter stating exactly what you would say to them as if they were still alive. Know when you've truly forgiven someone, when you do not harbor bitterness or resentment towards them. It doesn't mean that life is able to go back and be restored to the way it was before the hurt, because that's hardly the case. That rarely ever happens. However, you should be able to move forward with or without that person in your life. And I believe as a Christian, we know when we have truly forgiven another who has wronged us, when we are able to honestly pray for them, the same manner that Jesus did for those who wronged him, saying, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And the whole church said,